Law enforcement has a really important job in our community, and the vast majority of law enforcement officers are going to do an excellent job. But like in any profession, there are always going to be a few who misuse their power. When we're talking about law enforcement, it includes a broad array of agencies. It could be anywhere from your local city police department to state police to federal law enforcement agencies, which could include the FBI, Immigration and Customs Enforcement, which is called ICE, Customs and Border Protection, or TSA, which are the folks at the airport.
If a federal law enforcement agent wishes to speak to you, you have certain constitutional rights afforded to you. You have the right to remain silent, and if you choose not to answer any questions, it cannot be used against you in a court of law. You have the legal right to an attorney. This is true even if you're not a citizen or have been arrested or detained. Before a federal law enforcement agent enters your property, make sure that you politely ask them for a warrant. Check on the warrant to make sure that the address is in fact the address of the property being searched. Tell federal law enforcement agents that you do not consent to a search so that they do not go beyond what the warrant authorizes. Write down the name of the police officer and their badge number, and be sure to contact CAIR immediately. You should not under any circumstances lie or provide false information to a law enforcement agent because it is a federal crime.
When you're approached by a law enforcement agent, it can be very frightening and it can really throw you off. And so if you don't know what your rights are and know those very well, you might be put into a situation where you would give away your rights, and it could have a seriously negative impact on your life.
If you're approached and questioned, a police officer can pat the outside of your clothing if they have reason to believe that you may be armed and dangerous. You do not have to answer any questions apart from identifying yourself and showing any government-issued ID. Ask the officer clearly if you're free to leave or if you're under arrest. If an officer is arresting you, you have the right to know why. You do not have to talk to the police without an attorney present. Clearly state that you want a phone call and a lawyer. Ask the federal law enforcement agent for their business card and their name so that you can provide it to your attorney. If you cannot afford an attorney, the government must provide you with one. If you're not a U.S. citizen and you're contacted by the Department of Homeland Security, you still have the right to an attorney. Federal law requires you to carry your immigration documents with you at all times. Once your immigration status has been shown to an officer, you do not have to answer any more questions without an attorney present. A Department of Homeland Security officer cannot ask you any questions about your religion, about your political beliefs. Carry the information of an immigration attorney with you at all times. Do not sign anything without reading it or without knowing the consequences of signing it.
As law-abiding American citizens, we do support law enforcement, and we should support law enforcement. But one of the beauties of our American system is that there are checks and balances built in, and that citizens have a role to play in that system of checks and balances. We've handled a number of cases where federal law enforcement agencies have strongly encouraged individuals to answer their questions without an attorney present. And we would strongly encourage individuals to call CAIR first before answering any questions so that we can help you be sure that your rights are protected.
You always have the right to an attorney. You do not have to answer any questions without an attorney present. And if you feel like your rights have been violated by a law enforcement officer, please come talk to us.